I'm going to turn it this way. Oh. Here we go. This is live. We're live on there. Okay. I was going to ask you before we did. All right. I'm just warning you.
What were you going to ask me?
I was just, if you don't want to talk about something, you can just say, like, fruitcake.
Forget it?
On. Fruitcake.
Oh, fruitcake.
Yep, fruitcake. If you say fruitcake, I'll just move on because I don't want to make you uncomfortable on here.
Well, I appreciate that because I also don't want to limit you and when you have your own platform to do with what you want to.
So we're going to go right into that.
All right.
First, let's light up so we can be relaxed as we get into this.
All right, here, I'll hand you this. A little bowl.
Oh, no.
Oh, you don't want to hit that? Right.
I don't like vapes. I'll just smoke a pre-roll.
All right.
I got those. I always got pre-rolls. They're so convenient. Plus, I'm too lazy to roll anymore. Like, especially when it's just me. Hell no, I don't want to roll. I'm lazy. Oh, man. Oh, got one. I gave a lighter to this one lady because she rolled up a cigarette. And I was like, I bet you she doesn't have a lighter. So I gave her some cash and a lighter. She's like, is this where you work? I'm like, yeah, it's one of my jobs.
Very nice.
I usually have extra greenery lighters.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man.
Throw them around to all the customers.
Sometimes. I try to, like, collect them so I can give them to people. So, welcome to a Sunday confessional, a Stoney Sunday confessional. There we go. Stoney Sunday confessional. What we're to be talking about is communication, manipulation, and just like tactics that sometimes people use to, in their mind, they're thinking they're helpful, but in reality, it comes with strings attached. So I think one of our biggest breakdowns is the power dynamic. So like when we first got together, I put you on a pedestal and I thought so highly of you, and I still think highly of you. I don't want you to like be like, oh, not anymore. But I do. I still think highly of you. But in the beginning, I really humbled myself and like made myself small so that I wasn't being myself, to be honest. Like that first year of us dating, I was trying to be what I thought you wanted, you know, because you were still hung up on your ex. I really liked you. You had already ghosted me a couple times. I should put the camera on you, actually. But we overcame that, you know? Mm-hmm. And when you moved in, like when we moved in together, I felt more connected and more secure in our relationship. And I think for a little while you did, until I went back to work. And I was kind of doing more things that were in the public. And I've never been very comfortable in the public. Like I can adapt and I can fake it, you know, I can fake being comfortable, but I just like have really a hard time. Sometimes I won't even want to like leave the house because of my issues with my body. And so since like 2019, I've been like really pushing myself to get out. And I feel like the balance shift where now you kind of think highly of me, and I still think highly of you, but I don't have you on the pedestal. I think of you as an equal to me now. So we're equals. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel like you think of us as equals.
I kind of want to take that two different ways. Like on the one hand, you're saying the deep down, I kind of think I'm still better than you.
Yes, 100%. I think not better than me, but more educated than me, more knowledgeable than me, more like everything. And the reason I feel that way is because of our conversations and then also the way we fight. So like it's okay for couples to have disagreements and even to fight. What it's not okay is not to fight fairly.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you start tearing each other down, you start like picking at insecurities that the person may have, it can damage the whole relationship.
Definitely.
What do you think? Do you think that we're equal?
I do think we're equal, but I also think it's complicated. And like when you said you kind of made yourself small, like,
Mhm.
and I don't know if this is dumb because like you're saying I come off like I still kind of think I'm like better or bigger than you.
Not better or bigger, I think. Well, maybe better, but I think you feel like you're more educated.
Yeah, more knowledgeable.
That you know more things because you can spit facts out about stupid ass history.
Yeah, if it comes to like
book smart.
I don't know if this is wrong to say, but like facts or like trivia or like certain as I don't want to say facts because there's everything in the world is like a fact, and there's you know
this camera on you.
I don't want to be dumb here, but
no, you're fine. Go for it.
I think maybe sometimes I feel like now that you do have like so much going on with your life, I don't know, like maybe I in some ways feel like maybe I've kind of made myself a little smaller to like support you, you know, by like being with the kids more or like taking care of the house and like kind of holding down that stuff while you're kind of like following your dreams, I guess. And like,
do you feel like that's making yourself small, or is that like you're kind of taking like a backseat to like you're being a supporting player?
Yeah, I think of it more, and I have thought of it more as like just supporting you, and also I guess maybe taking a backseat, but not really as like a negative thing. But then when you, I don't know, just when you use that phrase, like I'm just trying to like think about things and maybe
just say
like
say you said.
And I don't
you
know,
said.
Apparently, I talk about what you say way too much.
Oh my! I'm writing a book.
Yeah,
I'm writing a book. It's copyrighted. It's called You Said, and it'll be all the shit that I've said that is profound or memorable. Just little quotes from Jocelyn. You said.
Well, I'm just trying to think more about like if I have like subconscious stuff that I'm not like dealing with, like resentments or any of that stuff.
So that's what.
I'm not saying that I do have those resentments. I'm just really trying to.
I'll disagree with you on that.
Well, okay, I'm saying I'm open to it, and I just want to like learn from that and grow from that because I definitely know that like consciously, I do want to support you, and like I don't ever want to do things that like put down what you're doing, but I have done that in our fights, and when I think when like.
You've done it a lot. Like that's kind of what I wanted to talk about is that like we communicate. We have a very open and honest communication style. It wasn't always like that. No, and that's kind of what I mean by making myself like smaller was like I wouldn't talk about my feelings. I wouldn't talk about how I felt when you like would disrespect me or put me down. What? Oh, sorry, the disrespect?
I don't know. It's just hearing that, like, especially, you know, being on.
All right. Well, I will admit that I have disrespected you, too. And that I haven't been a very good partner. It took a long time for me to even be where I'm at now with myself. So when I'm talking about your actions or your impact on me, I'm not trying to like put you down or make you seem like some shitty husband. I think that the more we talk about these normal things in relationships, the more normal it becomes and the more that like we can hold ourselves accountable because right now you're feeling like a little bit embarrassed, even though you know you've done these things. Now that it's like a public forum, you're like, I don't really want to admit it, or I don't want to like dive too deep into it. And I know that feeling because I've done that where I've like made mistakes and been like, I don't really want to talk about it anymore. I think it's healthy to discuss like why there's breakdowns, and like one of the things I've noticed with you and I is you are so helpful. You are like beyond helpful. You are basically like everything in one. You're my husband, you're the father of the kid to our kids, you're the handyman, like everything. So I want to give you props, for everything you do. What sometimes makes me feel not trusting of it, so like when you do things like the things you did today, you did all these like little things, and I appreciate it. It just sometimes I'm scared that they come with strings. And you build all of this stuff up, so then when you do something annoying like interrupt me to ask me a dumbass question in the middle of me telling you something, and that's annoying to me because I don't like it, and I've told you that. And so I just am like, I don't even want to finish the story because I'm mad right now, and I'm working through that in my head. I'm like, okay, don't be too mad about this, or like you can be annoyed but don't like make it a bigger deal, and don't like keep this going. So I'm like talking myself actively out of it, but because you see the annoyance, I think that triggers you, and you can tell me if I'm wrong on this one. I feel like that triggers you, and so then you're like, why is she annoyed with me when I did all of this stuff for her?
There's definitely like some truth to it, for sure. And I don't deal with like you being mad at me. I don't deal with it well. And I think part of it's like a combination of different things. I think on the one hand, it's because like I care about you so much, and so I'm kind of like, I don't know if it's panicking is the right word, but like upset that you're mad at me because I care about you so much. But I don't want to frame it just like that, because I think it's also another layer to it where it's like I am like either being defensive, like, oh, why should you be mad at me? I'm not bad, or also even like being like, hey, I do all these great things. Why are you being mad at me?
You try to minimize it.
Yeah, so like I think there's like all of that kind of together, and then I act like a jerk instead of just keeping that ego part of me in check, and like actually just trying to understand why you're upset and be helpful with it.
I don't think people really realize it, but like there is a caged like rabbit tiger inside of me that is just waiting for the perfect prey to come out. And like I have to keep that in check all the time, and sometimes it's so hard, especially when I feel like you are my foundation, and when you start to be unreliable, and that foundation's cracking, then I'm like, I'm not going to rely on this foundation anymore. I'm going to make my own foundation. I've made my own foundation. I can do it again. I think for me, the reason that I'm so quick to jump out of the relationship when it starts going really bad like that, like when I feel like you're in your ego and your feelings and you're not listening to me, and it doesn't matter how calm I stay, it doesn't matter if I call it out, like you're minimizing your accountability, you're avoiding accountability, you're blaming it all on me when it takes two people to fight, and you're just kind of like ignoring me. It's like, why am I wasting my time with somebody who doesn't even want to listen to me? And I think that goes back to me as an individual. So I've dealt with a lot of trauma in my life, and my fight or flight is at an all-time high all the time. So like when conflict arises, even if it's a simple verbal confrontation, I don't like those, but I'm ready for them. So my body starts shaking because I know that it can be from us talking shit to each other to me swinging at you. And my aunt can relate to that. So like I start to feel trapped when you're just like coming at me and putting me down, or like putting down my accomplishments. And that's where I feel like you're trying to make yourself seem like more important, or like it's like you're pushing your insecurities on me, and you don't want me to like have my head be too big, so that I am like, oh, I don't need you. I can have anyone, or whatever the thinking is. Like, I feel like you think that if I allow myself to feel the accomplishments, then I might leave.
It's really shitty.
I mean, is that what do you think? Like, it is shitty.
Like,
but
I
is that
definitely
true?
don't go around thinking that consciously, but just like.
Why are the dogs barking? All right. Sorry. The dogs just started barking, and our kids are going to sleep. Don't get dogs. They're just so much of a pain in the ass. Cats are way better. They just like do annoying little shits. Okay. I don't know what that was about.
Subconsciously, at least, and I don't know if that's dumb to say that. Like, I'm not trying to like excuse things or anything by saying it's subconscious, but like maybe there is some of that insecurity. Like, if you're out doing all these, big things with a bunch of different, people, like young, cool people or whatever, they think, people that think they're cool anyway. Sorry.
You don't have to put other people down.
And you know what? I meant that.
I know you're insecure because you feel like if someone comes to me who might be, like, it's okay to be attracted to other people.
It is, and I'm not
even
like, honestly, like, it's not on a level where I'm like, oh my god, she might sleep with somebody, or it's just like a more like.
That's good because I've proven that I won't.
Yeah, obvious. Yeah, so I'm just saying it's more like a.
I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah. I don't want to paint this. That's what I don't want to paint this in the wrong way.
Everyone's all like, "Oh, Jocelyn may be available." Okay, because we've talked about like. And that's another thing. Sorry, I cut you off. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, in kind of like an amorphous kind of like.
Did you say Morpheus?
Amorphous.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I was just in like an indescribable kind of
fucking words,
non-specific kind of way. Like, I think there is
that what amorphous means?
Amorphous is like.
This is why you can't use big words when you're explaining shit, because now I'm just like, what the fuck is amorphous? I was just talking about
almost kind of like shape. Like, I can't exactly describe it, or it's not like exactly one thing. Like, I'm not specifically like, oh my god, if she meets this guy or this thing happens. It's just like kind of maybe a feeling of like she's out doing all these things with all these people, and and stuff like that happens. And then what if she likes doing that more than she likes being home with me, I think, type of thing. Which, there's nothing wrong with that either. Like, it gets boring being at home all the time. So, like, it's not wrong.
Does it? Because you don't seem bored of it.
It does less for me than for you, but I will say, as much as I've, like, embraced the homebody thing, especially, like, since we got married, I did used to go out a lot when I was younger, and I think maybe I've started... Like, I like going out with you, and when I do, like, get myself out of the house more, I really enjoy it, so.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
What did you used to do besides playing poker?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or going to a Blazer game. What did you do outside of the house?
I used to do a lot of stuff.
Like what?
Like when I was like first 21, I'd go like bar hopping with guys and like.
What guys? I'm so shocked by this.
Yeah.
You went bar hopping with guys? Like, you had friends that you went bar hopping with?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who? Was it Benchcraft guys?
No, like, okay. Well, when I first started with Benchcraft, I did that, we partied pretty hard and went to bars and stuff, and then, but even when I was younger than that, like, there's like an Albertsons crew, because I worked there when I turned 21.
Oh, I see.
So, like,
okay, so the girl.
No, but like we would party a lot and like just do stuff.
I remember the Albertsons girl. So that's who you hung out with?
No, I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about like I had friends that were
girls
at Albertsons and guys. More guys, but
was it the girl that like shit in the bush? What's her name? Smelly Shelly.
I don't see this. Shelly was a good friend of mine when I was younger, and
I'm sorry,
liked to party hard.
Yeah, we've all been there. We've all been there.
Anyway,
yeah.
I don't know how.
Didn't Kyle give her like a 20 to?
I don't think it was a 20. It was probably a single.
He was like, "Here's a 1." Okay, sorry. I was just talking about that to somebody. Sarah. I was telling her about her. And so when you were like trying to dodge the question, I'm like, who was he hanging out with oh, okay.
But yeah, there was this dude Mark, who I don't know if I've talked to you or anybody, used to hang out with him a lot, and like Brian, who you know.
Brian.
And I mean, that was a long time ago now, but
yeah, because
never mind. I don't even say
go
that.
Ahead.
It was just about how old I am. But,
go ahead.
Well, it's funny. The year now that you and I both so we like card people.
Mm-hmm.
So the year that the people have to be born in is the year that I was turned 21. I turned 21 in 2001, and now if you were born in 2001, that's how old you have to be to buy weed or beer. So I'm like doubled it.
Yeah, that's kind of a kick to the taint.
But honestly, especially lately, I've been feeling like pretty much how I felt when I was 21. So
well, I think a lot of that is like you eating better and like exercise and like watching your mental health and like just taking care of yourself overall better. And I think that's huge. Getting out and doing things for yourself, like going and playing basketball.
Mm-hmm.
You do that a lot, and I think that's good. And you definitely put yourself out there, so I appreciate that.
What do you mean?
Like, you have put yourself out there when you've came out with me. You have done things to like show me that you're willing to step out of your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm. We've gone to some a couple really good shows in the last year or so.
Yeah, well, I told Max 91 how I did some like crowd surfing at the RA concert.
Uh-huh.
And it was my first time. I hate that video because
fun.
I feel like I look terrible in it. But that's my body. That's like my mental just attacking me. Like I've had like, and I think that goes back to why it bothers me so much when you kind of like I don't know, don't really appreciate me as much. You appreciate like a small part of me, but then if I like step out of that, like being annoyed with you, you start like having that feeling, and it's like you want to bring me down so you feel better about yourself. And that's something that like we're obviously working on, but I think it's important to have these conversations and to like normalize them, because even when we talk in private, it's hard for you to like have this conversation. And a lot of it's like our childhood too. We had different and somewhat similar childhoods, so that's another thing. But like honestly, I think if you continue to fight the same way over and over again, it just does more damage to the relationship. And that's where people seek comfort and validation and love elsewhere. And I've been cheated on. I've been cheated on where her best friend lived next door to me. So, and at one point she lived 2 houses over. So that was super fun. But I would never want to do that to somebody. I would never want to break someone's trust like that, to make someone feel like they're not worth an honest conversation. So with you and I, like I've done things way differently than I have in the past because I want us to last. I want us to get through this like hump, and I want us to come out better. I don't want to keep making the same mistakes and expecting a different result. I want to figure out the causes of these things. So like for me, a lot of my anger is growing up in a home where there was a lot of yelling, a lot of like emotional, mental, and physical abuse. And one of the things I love about you is that like you are on the same page as me with our parenting and how we don't want to be like our parents, and we want to be honest with our kids, and we want to show them what it's like to be able to feel safe to express yourself. Like our daughter feeling perfectly comfortable when she's alone with us to let us know how her day was fucking stupid. And then our son, who is like, let me drop a couple curse words to see if they pick it up, or lies to my face about his missing work. Like, like I wasn't going to come out and ask you.
Yeah, we had just talked about it. So dumb.
I'm like, what the heck? And then he hasn't even had his computer this whole time. I just realized, yeah, he
His
has.
computer's up there.
No, his personal one. I took his power cord when he lied last time and was missing all his work. I took the power cord out. Like I shut the
So he's
computer
only
down.
had his laptop.
Yeah, he's only had the laptop.
Oh.
And then, yeah, I was like, oh, are you on your computer? And he's like, no, I don't have it. I was like, oh shit, that's right. The power cord's right here. I'm like, damn, you didn't even have your computer and you still lied. Like, what? And that I think is super challenging. Parenting, being on the same page. I think you and I had a little bit of trouble in the beginning when you stepped into that parent role. For me, it was like really hard to share my child who like was just with me for like 2 years, 3 years.
Well, when we moved in, he was right when he turned 4.
Damn, I thought I was a single mom for like a short time.
Yeah,
it feels short.
When he was 3, I was around quite a bit, but yeah,
I
really,
think that's when you started like babysitting.
Yeah, but really, when he was right when he turned 4, when we started all living together.
Yeah, 4 or 5. 4. No, 4. Yeah. All right. I'm so bad with dates.
So
I even
it's been
got
almost
our wedding.
11 years now.
That scared me. I thought it was a rash, and I was like, "Holy shit!" But it's pink hair dye from Lila's hair.
Oh.
I dyed our daughter's hair pink. It's semi-permanent. Don't worry. I didn't bleach her hair because it's already blonde. So, and I talked to hairdressers. I researched it. It's fine. But yeah, I think that one of the biggest things was like my mom used her kids as control. And so whenever she was mad at my dad, who was my stepdad, she would like pull the card of like, you're not their parent. I'm their mom. I gave birth to them. So that mentality was like in my head for a really long time, where I felt like even with, Lila, like I was like, well, I gave birth to them. So like my say it's like 51-49, just like slightly. I feel like 51-49 is pretty good.
51-49 is pretty good.
Yeah, like you're the 49, I'm the 51.
I got that.
Okay, just because I had to like go through the pain, my body still hasn't recovered from it. Probably never will. Yeah, never.
Your body's doing great.
Okay, moving on. Thank you.
Here.
But thank you for having this conversation. I know things are still like, we're still like working it out. For me, I think that I just like, I deal with a lot of stress the same way I deal with my depression, and I deal with it alone. Like I don't even like really talk to you about it. You've seen me at my lowest. You've seen me attempt suicide, which I don't really talk about because it's embarrassing. But I think a lot of it is the shame. that you feel when you're at that low point of depression and anxiety. And I just deal with that on my own because I don't like to burden other people with my stuff. And B, it's uncomfortable when you're around crying people and you don't know how to comfort them. It's a little uncomfortable. And I don't like to be comforted when I'm crying. I don't like to be touched. I don't like to be like hugged. Because I'm having like all these emotions flooding me and I don't know how to deal with it. And then like I'm embarrassed if someone's watching me or seeing me, I get embarrassed by it. So that's when I'm like, okay, I need to take a break from everyone. I need to like go out in nature and do something. I forgot why we were talking about this. I think it was
you were talking about just how things are a little weird right now because this is really hard, and then
it's just like rebuilding that, because when you don't fight fair and you say things meant to hurt the other person, like it's one thing to call someone dumb or a muppet or to be like you're a fucking idiot, but it's a whole nother thing to really like cut deep, to talk about parenting, to talk about your spousal role, and like if it's not stuff that you actually mean or that is actually true, then it creates this other layer of like mistrust and hurt that kind of doesn't go away just because the fight's over. That lingers. And I think that like really breaks down a relationship. And I feel like a lot of times we do it really well when we're on the same page and we're communicating. But when we start building resentment up and we start like not talking about the things that are frustrating, then it becomes a bigger issue. You bottle all of that negative feeling up and then it explodes if you aren't dealing with it. So, yeah. All right. Well, we talked about that for like 32 minutes. So we'll end this episode. Do you have anything you want to say? You don't have to be mushy.
I won't. I just, I love that we're able to talk about this stuff and that you like push me and push us to like dig in and like do the work. And
because you treat me like a counselor and a wife.
I mean, but I will say for anyone that doesn't know, she has a bachelor's in psychology. So that definitely, I don't know, means something. Yeah. And also, I still, like as shitty as it is, I still want to look at this as like this isn't easy stuff. So like a lot, it's kind of, and I don't want to minimize anything I've done or say that it's okay or anything like that. But like just as far as like how it kind of sucks sometimes going through this, like I don't know, hopefully it's like a no pain, no gain where like I'm really getting, to the root of things. And I kind of lost what I'm trying to say.
No, I get what you're saying.
I think I'm trying to be positive about it, but also I'm kind of catching myself because I've been a jerk and I don't want this in any way to be like, oh, well, I'm just a jerk because I'm growing or getting better or things like that, because that's dumb. Sorry, we had a good talk here.
No, I was stopping myself from talking over you because I know that I do that sometimes, especially when I know someone's struggling. I try to like jump in and help, but I think that like I feel unsure about how to move on from this right now, because I think a lot of it is like all of the things that are going on, not just you, but the petty work drama, because somebody fucking lost their shit counting $10 in quarters. They had to throw a hissy fit over it and be like, let's not do more than $5 in our teal bags when we start our shifts. So I did $12 and changed the next day, because that is the fucking dumbest shit to complain about. So fucking dumb. It's set up for $10 worth of change to begin with. So what? Yeah, okay. Total
12
tangent.
makes way more sense than 5.
I just did it to be an asshole because it really annoyed me. This fucking complaining daily on bullshit is just so annoying. So I just was like, whatever. It's a lot of stuff. It's like the constant with social media and the podcast and Pod of Portland, all of the stuff, it's like you have to constantly be doing this stuff. So like I have to constantly be building my brand to like get it where I can start making money from it or get recognition for it. At the same time, I have to find a balance where you're feeling appreciated, you're feeling loved, you're feeling valued. I have to balance with the kids feeling loved, feeling valued, feeling, that time. And the whole time, my brain's just like going off a million miles a minute, thinking about all the things I need to do. And so I've really been trying to like turn my phone off or on silent when I'm like watching a movie with the kids or I'm doing something, so that it's not distracting me. But it's a hard thing, and I do appreciate everything you do to help me with that. Like when we're working together and we're a good team, like I feel like we can do anything. We can accomplish anything, and we help balance each other out. But that doesn't mean that we can't have annoyances with each other. It doesn't mean that we can't find other people attractive. It means that like we are human and we are individual people. So you may not like admit that there are cute girls that walk into your shop all the time and want to hit you up for your number.
Can I admit it right now? Oh, wait, she didn't hit me up for my number.
Oh, not yet. Oh, I'm sure she will.
No, it's funny because you bought me this shirt.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty awesome. I love it. But there's this girl that my coworker was like, oh, this girl's hot when she was like coming in,
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was bringing up her stuff tonight, she was like, oh, I really like your shirt.
Were you like, it would look better on you?
No, I was like, it would look better on your bedroom floor. No, I did not say any of those things.
Oh, you would. You were not smooth when you were hitting on me. Like, I hit on you.
I am not smooth.
I hit on you for like 3 weeks, and you didn't even call me.
Hey, I don't...
So I am not worried. That's why I'm not worried about you.
I put you on the list, but back then there was so many.
Yeah, right.
I was working my way
through. You were scared shitless when I came in the next time after you hadn't called me. Your face was like you just saw a ghost. You were like, "Oh, hi. Like I was going to call you, but like I got busy, and I don't want you to think I wasn't going to call you."
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, "Oh, I gave you my number."
Yeah, you were like, "I don't even remember that."
Yeah,
because you play it so cool.
Meanwhile,
honestly,
I was pissed.
It shows how much I actually like cared, because some guys would probably not even be like, they'd be like, whatever. Like,
okay, first of all, you would do that with anyone, so not that special. Good job.
What do you got there?
I'm trying to open this buddies. Okay, it says pinch and open.
Oh, so here, you don't touch the top part. Put one finger on each side like this, and then just...
Wait, show the camera. Show the camera.
Put... And then you just like go like this, and then it pops. It's not really working, but it's...
Oh, is it open? It's not open yet.
There it goes. And then put your finger in there. Yeah.
All right, so this is a Buddy's Cannabis Jelly. It's a THC jelly indica hybrid. Oh my god, people and their fucking indica strains. Listen.
What's up?
The strains have been crossbreeded so much that they're not purely indica. They're not purely sativa.
Only a few.
Like what?
Durban Poison is like a pure sativa.
Okay.
Kona Gold is a pure sativa.
Is it?
Yeah, even though it kind of smokes like a hybrid, but they say it's a Landris strain is like this term they use for like the originals. It's like the 6 original strains basically that everything is based out of. So like Durban Poison is basically like what was growing in Africa, like the southern areas of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And then like Hawaiian stuff like Kona Gold.
Mm-hmm.
And then let me think. So on the indica side, there's like Afghani.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Afghani is technically 100%, but I think it might be if you have like a straight Afghani, I think that's considered an original.
Okay, I stand corrected.
Very few, like 90, way over 90% of the ones out there are like just basically hybrids of stuff.
I stand corrected. Okay, it'll happen. I'm so new to this world. People ask me shit, and I'm like, let me ask somebody.
I should make you like a cheat sheet or something.
No, fuck that. Because you know what pisses me off is the people that come in, mostly guys, will come in and be like, what do you like recommend for like a indica hybrid? You know, like what's up, bro? And I'm like, oh well, there's my man, that man right there. Yeah, that's my man. He always hooks me up. He gives me the best recommendations. I love his. What do you suggest for an indica hybrid, man? Oh, I don't mean to like cut you off. Like, what do you got there? What do you got there, sweetie? Oh, some White Widow haze. Good. That's a good strain. Good for you. You picked out a good one. So what up, bro? What up?
Not an indica hybrid.
Okay, listen.
Shut
the fuck up. I know it's a sativa hybrid. I'm just pointing it out that. Okay. At that point, though, I just walk away. Like, if you are showing someone else attention, like another bud tender, and you want their opinion, that's fine. I don't need to waste any more of my time. You got somebody. I can go do some other shit that will be complained about. Oh, no one worked in the 5-packs. Yeah, fucking little. Okay, so anyways, you would think that if you worked in a dispensary around weed, that you would be a lot happier all the time. But fuck, this petty ass drama, bitching about some drawers being moved around is the dumbest shit. Okay, so we're gonna try this cake ball, and this cake ball, you can split it up into 3 sections for 5 milligrams each.
Oh, so it's a 15 milligrammer.
Yeah. Yep. So cool. That's perfect. This is a chai cake ball from LB's?
Yep. LB's Edibles.
Oh.
I hear this stuff's pretty tasty. I like it. It's got like kind of a ginger taste to it.
Yeah, I'm not a ginger fan. You love ginger latte, Mary Jane fudges.
The fudge, yeah, gingerbread latte. Those are good. I like, and the ginger. Oh, they don't make them ginger anymore, but it used to be mules used to have a lemon ginger. But now they do it like mountain berry. But
yeah, well, at Butlandia right now on clearance, they're like $12, I think, after the sale. It's a mule hash rosin strain edible. I've had it. I brought it home once.
Yeah.
I'll bring it home again when we can do it. So, also, Smokies cannabis infused gummies, blackberries. This is 50 milligrams. My mouth started watering. 50 milligrams CBN and 15 milligrams THC. So 5 and 5 per serving per gummy.
And CBN's really good for sleep.
Why?
It's just, it has a strong, like, heavy sedative effect. It's kind of like CBD, but for sleep, I guess.
But what makes it different than CBD?
It's just a different, whatever chemicals.
Wow, you don't even know?
Well, I'm just saying, like, it's like what makes THC different. It's like a different chemical that has different effects. And
well, it's not a chemical; it's a compound. Chemical is what you add.
well, okay, yeah.
It's the compound. I mean, that's basic science, biology,
chemistry.
101. Biology. Biology.
That's definitely more chemistry than biology.
Not if you're talking about the plant.
You know what? I'm going to stop arguing.
If you're talking about the plant, it's plantology.
We're always... That's botany. But we're always talking about plants.
Why wouldn't it be plantology?
It should be.
Mm-hmm. So, Smokies, blackberries. If you're joining on here, it gets a little emotional. Stoney Sunday. But I just needed to step away from everything, why I dealt with this, because it was like, I was just talking to Max about this, about how as a kid, if you problem solved on your own a lot, you probably isolate as an adult to solve problems. And that really hit me because I do. I just like want to be left alone. I want to think about it. I have this gummy in my mouth. So, talking about it helps. I feel like it helps you feel heard. It definitely helps me feel heard. It helps me like move past issues because I'm not like thinking about like, oh man, I feel like I said like 20,000 times recently. But I think it helps because we can hear each other's perspective. We can hear each other's like pain and the impact it has caused. And I don't want this to feel like I'm putting you on blast or anything, because I told you before we started that this was what I was going to talk about. I just think that like there's a lot of times that we see couples online and they are the happiest looking couples ever. Like their life looks so picture perfect. And you're like, damn, Bill and Susan are so happy. And then all of a sudden Susan's arrested for killing Bill. And you're like, holy shit, how did she snap?
But they might have been fighting the whole time, or they might have been just holding things in the whole time.
She was like plotting it. Have you seen those shows, Snapped?
I think I've seen it a little bit. There's a bunch of those shows.
I never watched it.
Women killing their husbands.
Well, I don't think it's all women. I think it's mostly women that snap, but I don't think it's like all women.
Yeah, guys snap too, that's for sure.
All right, I'm going to stop this one because I feel like 49 minutes is long enough. And then I can